Today I'm in central London outside Public's house, about to go inside and meet James and Morgan Lafferty. Now James Lafferty is a very successful CEO and businessman of multinational corporations, and he's going to be talking to us about how to climb the ladder. Let's go inside and meet them. How did it all start out? What was your beginnings?
My beginning was very simple. All I wanted to do was be a teacher and make very little money and be happy. And I had a corporate fitness business that I was helping companies. This was in the early 80s when the corporate fitness boom was taking off. And I started teaching fitness classes for P&G executives, or basically teaching overweight executives how to lose weight. He's making all these comments. He says to me, "You ought to do what I do." And I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I'm in brand management." And I thought, brand management, what is it? And he explained it, and I liked it. So I applied to P&G in brand management, and I got turned down. I got a nice letter from them, the first paragraph, "We really like you. You're wonderful. You have unique experiences, but we don't see a good fit." And so I challenged the company. I wrote a letter back, and I said, "Interviewing is not an art, it's a science. Or it's not a science, it's an art. And I would like to be given another shot." And they called me back for a second set of interviews, and lo and behold, on that one I got an offer, and I started in marketing at the bottom, called a brand assistant in the U.S. in 1985. And from there, I stayed in the U.S., I became a brand manager, and then I went overseas in 1991, and I've been gone ever since. And then it was just gradually through the marketing and then into general management. If I had listened to P&G's first letter, I wouldn't be where I am today. You wouldn't know me. But you got to fight, and you got to say, "I want this," and it's a visceral need, and that's what you're looking for. People call it different names. I call it desire. Other people call it fire in the belly. Mm-hmm. Other people call it perseverance. Whatever you call it, this is the most important thing of all. That's the intangible. And it's funny, when you go and interview with CEOs around the world, that's all they ask about. They don't ask about, do you know how to market this or what that. They basically focus on those attitudinal skills, because the rest is teachable. I can teach a young person about anything, but I can't teach him to have a fire in the gut.
Often people say you need to have your set goal, where you're going in life, and know your direction, whereas you've changed and you've gone in different directions. You kind of grabbed your opportunities. Do you think that that's a very important thing to teach people, or if in being successful in their life, to always grab the opportunity? Or do you think having quite a straight direction set out in your mind, in your imagination, do you think that's important?
Let me ask you a question. Are you doing exactly what you thought you would be doing 10 years ago? No. And I don't know of anybody who says yes to that question. Mm-hmm. This is a philosophical point. I don't believe at all in this, you have to know exactly where you want to go and all that. Life is serendipitous. Mm-hmm. And it's more about taking advantage of the opportunities that are put in front of you. No one ends up doing exactly what they thought they were going to be doing. And I never wanted to be marketing. You know why I didn't want to be a brand manager? Because I didn't even know the field existed. Mm-hmm. When you're a kid growing up, it's doctor, lawyer, astronaut, pilot, the standard list. I wanted to be an astronaut. Why? Because Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, and that was cool. But when you start to be exposed to what the world puts out there, you end up seeing other opportunities. And so I'm a big believer in serendipity. It doesn't mean that you have no direction, no goals, but writing things down on a piece of paper and saying that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't believe in that, and I don't believe that the most successful people have done that. Stephen Jobs didn't say, "I want to start a computer company." This is not where people were, and that's not where the most successful people are. That what the most successful people are is they believe in serendipity, and when opportunities come, they take them. Like in my case, a brand manager says to me, "Try what I do," and that was a day that changed my life.
My dad, being kind of the head of different companies and such, has moved him around. So with that, I kind of went to different schools in Asia and in Europe and in Africa. And so I've gotten to experience quite a bit.
Wow, that's amazing. How did you find that? Was that difficult, having such jumps from different places, or was it quite interesting even though you were quite young?
I think it could be found difficult, but growing up around the world, literally moving every couple of years, it's kind of instilled in you after a while. So now I'm that kind of person where I'd rather move than stay still.
You found that working your way from the bottom to the top is actually how it should really be done, because you've got hands-on experience and you really learned genuinely what to do. What's the most valuable sort of skill or lesson that you've learned from the beginning of your career so far?
I've learned that it's really important to be able to work with different kind of people, to kind of step into their roles at an early start, to understand, why they do what they do the way they do it, and how how is your role helping, your brand or your company, and just kind of trying to find your place and understand where you add value.
What would you say to people who need to sort of get that fire back in their belly?
You've got to take risks. Secondly, get off of the entitlement mentality that I will want a job the way I want it, in the city I want it, in the situation I want it. You know what? You might have to move. And this is the way it goes. And the third is you don't give up. You keep pounding away, because you never know when that door that does open is going to be the one that you're going to step through. I mean, I know they get turned down. I got turned down for lots of jobs. You keep going at it, and you keep pounding away.